Emergency funds are probably the least exciting thing in personal finance. No charts going up, no I made money while I slept energy, no screenshot flex on social media, just cash sitting there doing absolutely nothing. And that's exactly why so many people skip it, because it feels pointless until the day it isn't. Think about how people actually treat emergency funds. They'll say, why would I park money in cash when inflation is eating it alive? Or that money could be invested. Or I'll just build it later once things calm down. And that logic sounds smart, especially when markets are running hot. But life doesn't care about market cycles. Life shows up whenever it wants. Ask anyone who lived through 2020. One week, everything felt normal. The next week, entire industries shut down. Millions of people were laid off almost overnight. And the wild part wasn't just that people lost jobs, it was how fast panic set in. People weren't freaking out because their long-term investments were down. They were freaking out because rent was still due in 2 weeks. This is the part nobody likes to talk about. Emergency funds don't make you money. They protect you from making terrible decisions. And that protection is worth more than any return you can calculate on a spreadsheet. Look at someone like Dave Ramsey. Love him or hate him, there's one thing he's been right about forever. People don't get destroyed financially because they didn't earn enough in a good year. They get destroyed because something went wrong in a bad month. Medical bill, car dies, job loss, divorce, a random Tuesday that explodes your budget. That's where emergency funds show up. And here's why they feel boring. Most days, nothing happens. Your car starts, your paycheck clears, your life keeps moving. So the money just sits there. Quiet, unimpressive. You start thinking, I could be doing more with this. That's when people raid it for vacations, upgrades, or temporary expenses that somehow never get paid back. But emergency funds aren't for good days. They're for the worst version of your life showing up uninvited. They're for when your boss schedules a meeting at 4:30 on a Friday. They're for when your doctor says, we need to run some more tests. They're for when your industry decides it's restructuring. Remember when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed? A lot of smart, high-income people suddenly realized their money wasn't as accessible as they thought. Founders with impressive net worths couldn't make payroll. Employees with stock options couldn't pay rent. On paper, they were doing great. In real life, they were stuck. Emergency funds aren't about intelligence. They're about liquidity. Here's the truth. A solid emergency fund changes how you behave long before anything bad happens. You negotiate differently at work. You don't tolerate nonsense as easily. You don't panic sell investments because you need cash right now. You don't jump into dumb side hustles just to survive the month. You stop making fear-based decisions. That's why emergency funds feel boring to people who've never needed them, and priceless to people who have. Ask anyone who got laid off and didn't have to touch a credit card. Ask anyone who could take a month to find the right job instead of grabbing the first miserable offer. That calm isn't luck, it's structure. And no, this isn't about hoarding cash forever. It's about having a buffer so your life doesn't collapse the moment something goes sideways. Think of it like insurance you actually control. You hope you never use it, but when you do, it changes everything. Here's the irony. People chase excitement in their money because their wallet feels fragile, but fragility is exactly why they should be boring first. Emergency funds are the opposite of flashy. They don't get attention, they don't get applause, but they quietly turn financial chaos into inconvenience. This channel isn't about hyping you up or pretending money is easy. It's about building a wallet that can take a hit and keep going. A wallet that doesn't freak out every time the world throws a curveball. Emergency funds aren't sexy. They're not supposed to be. They're supposed to save your life when everything else breaks. I am Donald Rump. Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos, and we will make your wallet great again.